Here's the deal. Let's just be real. 80% of my profits come from only about 20% of my trades. 20% of my trades represent most of my profits every week, every month, every year. I've made millions of dollars trading over the past 7 years. 5 of those years have been profitable. And I'm here to tell you that only a few of the trades that you get that are real bangers, those are the ones that are going to represent most of your profits if you trade something like me. I swing trade support resistance. That's it. Nothing else. Super simple. I wait for price to get to a support zone and I buy. Wait for price to get to a resistance zone and I sell. That is it. I've tried all sorts of bullshit. That's what I found works the best for me. And another thing that I found is that a big portion of my profits come from a tiny portion of my actual winning trades. 80% of my trades are roughly break even, small profit or small loss, and 20% of the trades I take are bangers. They do so well. Like to the point I want to fist bump you in this video, but it's a video. I can't because you're not. It's okay. We'll go ahead and get into the video. Let me show you this. I'm going to show you this concept, the logic behind it, and how you can use it to actually get an unfair advantage that a lot of people probably aren't actually doing right now. And listen, I'm not talking out of my ass here. I do this shit every day. Here's some of the trades that I'm in right now. Most of these trades will wind up in a break even or a small loss or small profit. Maybe 1 or 2 of them will wind up in a nice big profit that'll represent a good chunk of wins. And it is what it is. And look, just so that you know I'm not bullshitting you, it's just literally buying at support, selling at resistance. And I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's all I do. And that's all I've done for like the past few years. And it's just been really, really simple. And there's just really not a lot to do. Let me go pull up a random number generator here. And let's go pick a random pair. And I'm going to show you this example of how if you wait for those really, really, really good trades, you barely have to do anything. And you can notice that most of your winners come from just a few good trades. Number 8. So let's go pick a 8th pair here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. USDJPY. Sweet. So I'm going to take this USDJPY chart. All the drawings are already removed. We're here on the daily. I'm going to look you in the eyes here and just scroll back to somewhere random. Then we're going to stop right here. All right. So we are here in June of 2022. Let's go back even more. Let's go way back. All right, sweet. So now I'm going to do the 1 week chart and we're going to hit the little replay thing because we're just TradingView replay gods over here. We're just replay gurus that are just going to know every single movement here. And all we're going to do is we're going to wait for price to get to a major support zone or resistance zone on the weekly. We're just going to buy or sell. If we're right, we'll add into it. And if we're wrong, we'll start exiting the trade. And that's literally all we'll do here, okay? And we'll represent the account growth. We'll literally pull up the calculator app thing here on Google. And you guys will be able to, literally we'll track everything. And I'll show you how, if you just wait for really good trades, you barely have to do anything. And most of your profits will come from those really good trades. So if you can avoid all the shitty trades and try to break even on them or small loss or small profit or whatever, you can have those profits from those winners while not losing at all, like a degenerate gambler working at McDonald's on the losing trades. So let's go ahead and get started here. So we wait for a price to get to a major support zone or resistance zone, and that's literally it. There's nothing else. So we do have price right here at this major support resistance zone. We'll go ahead and just put a little line here at the lowest low just so we can remember. If price starts breaking that, then we should probably start getting out of the trade. And here's what we'll do. We will buy right here at this zone where current market price is at. And then if price comes a little bit deeper into the zone, we'll look to add to the position. And we'll look to take profits further up here. So this will be 1 unit of risk. So let's say that we've started a $10,000 account. And we'll do 1 unit of risk, and let's say we're going to risk 20% of this $10,000 account. Should you do this with all your capital? Absolutely not. This is just for the sake of an example. I have millions that I trade with in Forex, stocks, crypto, everything. 10K should be a small percentage of your net worth. If you are worth 10K and that's all you have to your name, maybe you start like a $500 account or something small, something you're okay with losing. Trading's risky. Most people are going to fail. This includes you. You should probably just not trade at all and just go work at McDonald's. You're statistically more likely to make more money doing that. But obviously, if you're a complete degenerate gambler like me, you're probably going to want to still learn trading anyway, just like me. So let's go ahead and get into it. $10,000 account, I'm going to risk 20% per trade, per entry. And if we're right, we'll make a huge profit. And if we're wrong, it'll be a loss, but it won't be. It'll be smaller than what we would make if we're right. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'll try to keep track with you. I got this little camera slider thing going back and forth. So if I look at the wrong spot, please forgive me. There's a lot going on here. I got these huge lights in my face, this big screen, this microphone, this camera going back and forth. There's a lot going on. Doing my best here. So we'll buy right here. Then we'll go down to the daily. And we'll wait to see if there's a spot where we could add into this trade to make a little bit more. So we're in a buy, and this is a 20% risk. So let's see what the daily candles do. The reason to use weekly and daily zones is because price is just more likely to bounce there. I typically just use like daily zones, and I use the 4 hour and 1 hour, but using the major barriers is really nice. All right, so price breaks above the recent highs. So let's see how we can do. This trade's starting to win. Let's see what we can do to maybe like add to the winner. If it comes back to retest this support resistance zone, we can add a buy right there and look to take final targets here around the previous highs of the weekly. Just up here. And look, this is not complicated stuff. It's like, where did it bounce at before? And let's draw a stupid little shaded box there. I literally look at the tools I use. I use a rectangle here, a multi-millionaire trader, and all I do, I use this stupid little rectangle tool, this little path tool to show the arrows about what I think is going to happen, and then sometimes this little line right here to show where I'm going to put my invalidation or stop loss or pending hedge order, etc., etc. I barely do anything. If you look at my charts, there's nothing on them. The ones I showed you from the live trades I'm in, this is my forex.com terminal on TradingView. I literally, there's just like shaded rectangles on the chart. There's literally nothing else. I barely do anything. Complete degenerate gambler. I've been doing this 7 years, and I found the less that I do, the better results I get. So price is broken above this recent low resistance zone. A common pattern that people see on the charts that works about 50% of the time is that price breaks above a zone, retests it, and then it might bounce there. So let's see if this can come back and retest this zone. So it does. So as it retests the zone, a buy is taken right there at that zone. So we enter a buy right there. And then in this case, since it's already broken this zone and retested it, we don't have to put the stop loss all the way below. We can just actually put it like just below this current zone. And then if price breaks this current zone right here, then we know that it's not working. We're just going to get out of that trade. And this is just a break and retest of a support resistance level. And there is nothing magical here. There's nothing crazy. And we're risking the same thing, 20% on this entry. So now we have another $2,000 of risk. So if both of these trades invalidate, then we are, we're going to be out some money here. But if they win, it'll be a nice big winner representing most of the profits from just a few good trades like this. So let's see what happens next. So price comes back into the support zone, still rejects with a little bit of a bullish candle on the daily. This might now come and stop out since it failed to make a new high. However, you let the stats play out. You trade the setups you see, and you just let it play out. So this one, just like I said, comes back and stops out. Now we have a realized loss of $2,000. So we're down. The account's at $8,000, and our first trade is still, it's a little bit of drawdown. So now price is at this support zone. So if price breaks this support zone, we can look to manage the trade and potentially get out of it. So price breaks the support zone, comes all the way to the extreme low down here. So what I'm going to do is, since price is literally all the way at this extreme low, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to enter a buy right here. Another one. We'll have the same invalidation right here. It's like $2,000 risk, and then a potential for profit all the way up here. So now we have a $4,000 additional risk to this, meaning if we lose both of these trades, the account will be down to $4K. But if we win, it'll be a ridiculous profit. So, it is what it is. A matter of waiting for the good setups. So now let's see what happens. So price goes down and breaks through this zone. So now it's broken the lows. We're going to wait to see if the candle can come back up here and close up here, and then we'll just look to exit these trades at a little bit smaller loss. And so it does come back up here. So what we can do now is we can close this trade here at a profit, and this second trade here to break even. Now, this trade in profit, let's see actually how much profit it is. From our second entry right here, price went up about 90 pips. How much was the invalidation? 160 pips. So this is a little more than halfway to the halfway of a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So in this case, let's just say we made $1,000 on that trade. It's about half of $2,000, a little bit more, but let's just say it's half. So half of $2,000. So that makes $1,000, and we got this one out at break even. And so we do -0 for the break-even trade, cool, and then we do plus 1,000 for the trade that won, and we had some drawdown on it. So we're still counted $9,000. Now we're just going to wait and see. And so let's take everything off this chart. Let's go back to the weekly chart, and we'll redo all the zones, and we'll see if we can get another trade entry. So now that it looks like price just faked out this zone and then came right back above, we'll simply wait to see if price can come back to the support. And then we'll just try again. We'll do the same shit. And if we're wrong, we'll try to take a small loss, just like we did with these trades that we were wrong. We had 3 trades that were all wrong. We still managed to roll out of it at like a little bit of a loss just by planning things out and realizing what the stats are. So we'll wait for price to come back to this resistance zone, or support zone, I guess, and then we'll see if it'll bounce. So again, price has already broken above this zone. We're waiting to see if it'll come back. So it doesn't come back. and instead it breaks this zone right here. So now that price has broken the next resistance, well, what are we going to do? What's the magical thing that we're going to do here? Super, super high, really complicated Wagyu beef, bullish Kobe steak candlestick strategy here with the smart money concept, order block, liquidity flow, bank manipulation, accumulation, distribution, fair value gap, bullish Wagyu beef, Kobe beef. Just, that strategy. What do we do? We're not doing any of that shit. We're just buying at the support zone, bro. And if you're a female watching this, I guess I can call you sis or something. I don't know. Here, let's get back into it. So we're simply going to wait for price to come back to the broken resistance level and touch it, and it might bounce as support. And if it does, we'll make a profit. And if it doesn't, we're going to cry. We're going to wait for the next trading opportunity and not get upset about it at all, because I never do that at all. I never get upset. And I totally didn't get upset on Monday whenever I lost a GU trade at all. I wasn't the slightest bit bothered by it at all. It doesn't even hurt my feelings that I lost that trade. And I'm totally not thinking about that right now. Just kidding. All right, so we'll see if it comes back. And then if it does, we'll buy. So our original trade idea played out, and it ended up going to the next resistance. Did not come to an area where we can enter, because we need to wait for like the clear entry before entering. It didn't come all the way up there. But so now it does. So now what we can do is we can abandon the old trading idea. And now we'll trade off this weekly zone. Now I'm going to thicken this up all the way up here. And if price can come up here to this previous extreme high, I'll just use another small zone up here to represent this. I will add to the losing trade. So it could bounce right here, and that would be great if it does. Here's how I'll structure this. So I will, we'll go here with the short position tool. We'll enter a trade right here. Invalidation above these highs, and then a take profit all the way down here. About a 1 to 2. We'll go ahead and we'll just extend it to a 1 to 2 right there midway into the zone. So if we're wrong, $2,000 loss, and we'll add up here as well. So it'll be a little bit more if we're wrong and both go to invalidation. But if we're right, we'll make a nice little profit. All right, sweet. So it's going into profit. Now we're going to try to capitalize on this potential trade that could potentially win, potentially maybe. We don't know. We tried it with the last trade and we lost it. So the price is broken below the support resistance zone. It also failed to make a new high. It tried to break a retest there and bounce, but failed to make a new high. Now we've made a lower low. That's great. That's great for our trade. So now we'll see if it can retest. And if it does retest, we'll just look to add a sell to profit from the bounce going down. The sell will look something like this. An entry at the resistance zone. A stop loss above the resistance zone. And a take profit somewhere below the resistance zone. Ideally here at this next level down here. So let's see if this can come back up and retest and not screw us over like the last trade. And in fact, I'm going to space this stop out just a little bit more. All right, there's the entry right there. The entry is there at the zone. This is fine. We are in the trade. Congratulations. Why am I telling you congratulations? I'm in the trade. This is my work. Now, we don't know if it's going to win or not. If it goes and slaps the stop, it'll be a $2,000 loss. We might be able to get out early depending on how the daily candle closes. And if it goes into profit, it'll be great. We'll jump up and down. Hypothetically, I doubt you're going to be jumping up. You're probably sitting down watching this video. And if you're not, you might want to stand up in case this wins. Then we can jump up and down together. I'm already standing up here at my standing desk, here in my high rise here in the city. Just like, yeah, but I don't get excited when I win anymore. It is what it is. So we make a couple lower lows. In order to manage risk, let us say, just like I'm a preacher giving a Bible lecture. Let us say that if price comes back up to here, we'll just close this at break even, and we'll do the same thing for that first trade as well. So we're in both of these positions. They're now with break even stops. So now where the risk is going off the table, and we're in some nice profit. Let us see, my sweet children, if price can continue all the way down. So it breaks a retest this daily support. Let's see if the whole move can play out. So it doesn't. It goes up and it hits break even for this trade. We are out of that trade at break even. And let us see, my children, if this can then bounce from there. We'll see. So it hits the break even, and then so now we're out of that trade. Now let's see what happens. So it breaks back below this zone. So now let's just do a little bit of a reanalysis here. We got broken out of all those trades at break even. Very frustrating. That was in a very nice profit. But you know what? Guess what? This is trading. Trading, shit like this happens all the time. Again, 80% of your trades will not work out that great. There will be a break even or a small loss or small win. I don't know, maybe you're better at me than trading. I suck at trading. I'm right only half the time, but I still make tons of money. So it's like, it is what it is. But with that being said, I'm not that great. I'm not that smart. I don't do anything special. I just make a little bit more when I win on my really good trades than the amount of money I lose on my trades that are like average, workable, somewhat like okay. As long as the risk structure there is fine. So we're break even on those. Let us see, my sweet children, if this can come back and retest this zone. So it does come back to retest the zone. So let's get into a sell here. We'll put a stop just above for $2,000 risk and a target here at this zone for about a 1 to 1.8. In fact, since the lows dipped really low last time, let's just drag it all the way out to a 1 to 2. If it's going to test this zone, it'll probably go there. So we'll see. So it goes down. This hits the target. So it's not as big of a win as it was, but at least it was a win. And at least it wasn't a break even or a small loss or a stop out or something. So we're going to add since we risked 2,000 on that, we're going to add 4,000 because it was a 1 to 2. So we're going to add 4,000. And we're going to double this account here. We're going to take it to 20K. So we just need one more really good trade, and it'll be fine. And guess how much work you had to do? Because how many trades did we take on here? Like 4 or 5 so far? There were 2 here, and 1 here. So like 5 of them. 5 trades. Imagine if this is just a daily chart and a weekly chart, and you're just setting alerts. And all you have to do is if it gets to a support zone, you buy like an idiot. You just literally, you barely do anything. You're like, you can barely turn your computer on in the morning. You can barely dress yourself to get ready for work at McDonald's. But all you got to do is wait for an alert to go off on your chart. And your phone notifies you, hey, you have an alert on TradingView. USD JPY is at a daily support level. And you're like, okay. And then you enter a buy. And of course, you calculate the lot size to structure the risk and everything. You barely do anything. If you're just trading this pair, which you're probably not going to be trading one pair, let's be real. But on this one pair, over the course of like from here, which was August 2017 to January of 2018, this is a whole half a year. It's about 6 months roughly. And in 6 months, there was only 5 trades. You barely have to do anything. Why? Because most of your profits will come from trades that work. And then a few percentage of most of your losses will come from like 80% of trades. But huge profits come from a small amount of trades. Whatever it is, 10, 20, 30%. I just said 80-20 because it's a nice and easy thing to remember, and it sounds really sexy. 80% of your 80% of your profits come from 20% of your trades. It's really sexy, but it's actually really true, at least for me. I don't know what the hell's going to work for you. This is what works for me. So now we're at the support zone again. Let us buy, children. Let us enter the holy kingdom of the buy here on USD JPY. Potential target all the way at the next zone. If price starts breaking below this zone, we can get out early as well. So $2,000 of risk, and let's see what happens. A little weak, little buying reaction, and price starts pushing up. So let's watch what price does at the next few zones, and we'll see if we can get another entry to capitalize on price continuing to move up. And I'm going to delete this little horizontal line here. So it comes back, tests the support zone again, could not make a new high, starts trying to dip lower, and then it breaks the zone. So in this case, since it's starting to break the zone, I'm going to go ahead and drag this low all the way down to that low there. And I'm going to see if price can start pushing up from here. And if it hits the stop, it hits the stop, and it is what it is. Breaks below this zone, goes and hits the stop. So this one didn't work. So now what do? We just added into the loss, which is minus 2K. So we're still in profit. It was a small loss compared to the winner. So we're at 11K. And we're going to go back to the weekly. We're just going to delete everything. And we're going to wait for the next clear setup. So let's figure out which zones we're at. It looks like there is a support zone. Wow, literally right here. Well, how convenient. How convenient. So let's say that if we think price is going to bounce off here, we might go up and make a lower high somewhere. So something like that, then it might maybe come back down here. How am I getting this analysis? Just because price generally moves from one support zone to the next support zone. One support zone to the next support or resistance zone. They're all interchangeable because price can either bounce at them or break and retest them. So it's likely price might move up to here, and if not, it'll make a lower high maybe. The reason I'm saying that is just because it just looks like there's like lower highs forming. I'm not a genius. It just looks like it's going down, bro. That's all. So I'm going to buy right here. I'm going to personally look to take profits on a lower high because I'm not fully convinced to get all the way back to that next zone. A stop loss below for a $2,000 risk, and then a take profit of a 1 to 2. This is a weekly chart. You barely have to do anything. Like, you barely literally have to do anything at all. $2,000 risk for a $4,000 win. Let's see what becomes of this trade, my sweet children. So price dips down a little bit more. Has a daily candle close. We need to see if the momentum will continue. Momentum continues. It starts to make a lower high right here. So now let's see if it'll break the support and hit the stop or continue past the next high. If it could continue past this previous high, it'll be good. Looks like it just failed to break that previous high. So we'll see if we can hold here as support. Comes to support, tries to bounce. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to make a new high. We'll have to crack past these little sets of like lower lows. Did a little liquidity swipe through the zone. That's why I use thicker zones. I don't like getting taken out on those. I like being able to manage them contextually. For now, I'm going to sit in this. This is looking, I could be wrong. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. It could hit the stop. Who cares? You know, it is what it is. That's what the planning and the risk structure is for. But I'm going to go ahead and stay in this. This looks like it might be a liquidity swipe, and it almost looks like price might just come back to test this little zone here. For whatever reason, price just likes to find support right there. Then it may bounce. We'll see what happens. So it bounces there at support. We need to crack these highs in order for price to continue up, and then we could potentially even add if we crack those highs and come and retest it. Only using support and resistance. So it cracks these highs. I don't know if we're going to be able to get another entry here, but if it does come back, I will look to add right there, and we could even put a break-even stop on the first position. All right, so price never came back to give us an entry, so I'm kind of sad about that. So I'm sad that we won $4,000. You know, it is what it is. So we win $4,000. Now the account has grown 50%. And like I said, we're barely doing anything. We're waiting on the good trades. We're trying to avoid the 80% of trades that are going to be the small profit, small loss, break-even bullshit. And we're just trying to wait for the good trades where there's likely to be a big move anyway. There's barely doing anything at all. Just literally like, there's a support zone there. I'm going to set an alert, and then if it gets through, I'm going to buy. That is all you have to do. I even had to do the stupid voice so you'd understand that I myself am a complete idiot, and I've just been doing this same bullshit over and over for years, and it's still working to this day. Who would have thunk you don't need smart money, order block liquidity, fair value distribution gap, existential crisis candle to the next zone. I need to slow down on the coffee a little bit sometimes. And all those of you who trade smart money concepts, it's cool. I'm you know, everybody has a system that works. I just think it's funny because no matter what system you use, price is still just going to go up or down. So it's like you can do all this bullshit that's really complicated, and if price, like once you enter, you're either going to be right or you're going to be wrong. Price is just going to go up or it's going to go down. And so I'm like, why not just keep it retardedly simple? Maybe I'll get canceled if I say retarded. This is so stupid that this is the case. So let me use a different word. You can keep it stupidly simple. And even then, I might get canceled for that. Man, you can get canceled for so much shit so easy today. You know what I mean. You can keep things really stupidly, dumbly simple. And then still, the price will just go up or it will go down. What's the sense in like obsessing over all the reasons and this is the bullish institutional order block candle that broke the liquidity line of bullshit. And then like you're going to enter. It's still going to go up or it's going to go down. You're still going to be right. You're still going to be wrong. You're going to make money or you're going to lose money. So it's like, why not just like, you know, support and resistance? I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just really stupid. It's a testament to how stupid I am. So we're going to do the same thing. We had a nice winning trade. What do? We yawn, we sit back, we get home at our job from McDonald's, and we start playing video games, and we just set two alerts. One at the resistance, one at the support. We'll sell at the resistance or we'll buy at support. So we're going to wait for the resistance to, or the price to get to one of these zones. So we need to wait for price to get to an actual zone for this to actually work. So here we go. So we get all the way to the resistance zone. I'm going to extend the zone all the way to those highs. Here will be the plan. I will start a sell right here, a target down there, stop loss up there. And then I will have a plan to add at these previous highs up here, at these extreme highs right up there, if price can go there. I add in drawdown all the time if it makes sense. I know some people are like, you should never add to a losing trade. And I'm like, bro, I've been doing this for years. You should add to a losing trade if you think it's going to bounce there at the next major zone. Why would you stop out on that? Why would you set your stop loss around a major resistance zone if you still think it's going to bounce? It all depends on the context and it depends on the risk structure, which is why I've just done my own thing for years. And surprisingly, that works way better than a lot of the common knowledge people teach here online. I barely do anything, just support resistance and having a clear risk structure. Keep things simple and control risks. That's Nick Sean, Stan. Are you in good hands? You know, like the Allstate commercial. Let's get back to the charts. So if it goes down, we'll be in profit. And if it goes up, I'll just add to the sell. So it looks like we're making a higher low here. So we'll be coming back to test. We may get our higher high and get a better entry, and that would be cool. Struggles to break the high. Still makes a higher low. And coming out of left field, we just dumped downwards. Okay, fine. Okay, sweet. All right, well, I guess, all right. So like I said, yes, we won the trade, but I'm a little bit salty because we didn't get our better entry. That would have been a 1 to 3. That would have been over $6,000 of profit. Could have helped pay a couple payments on my Porsche GT4. But, you know, it is what it is. We still made 4,000. So it's still fine. And like a little BITCH, I'm just going to stop the challenge here because I don't want to take the time to have to go through a whole nother trade and have to prove to you guys that not only can we get this account to double, but we could triple it. We could 5x it. We could 10x it. We could take it as far as we want it by doing the same damn thing and just compounding and scaling it up. This is what I teach in my compounding course, simple support resistance, everything else. But you can learn it for free here on my YouTube videos. I also call all my trades live in my close friends group, including all the trades that I'm literally in right now, the ones that I showed you on TradingView. This is one of my accounts right here. I've been using forex.com for the past week. I literally call all my trades here, and I've got another account as well that we're in some trades on. We had a nice little week last week, made like 3,600 last week, and then I'm in some trades here on this account. It's a $1,300 loss right now. We're just waiting because everything's going to work itself out. We're either going to win, we're going to lose, and everything will just be fine long term. So it is what it is. If you want to check out some of the stuff that I offer, you can click the second link in the description. If you literally just want to follow my trades and analysis for free, just hit the first link in the description. It's the link to my Telegram channel. And you can literally watch me do the same bullshit live every single day, all day. And I've done that for the past 5 years in my free Telegram channel. It's not hard. You just have to be like somewhat not so much of an idiot. But even then, you know, a lot of y'all are idiots just like myself. So, you know, it is what it is. So maybe you're still not going to get profit. You probably shouldn't be trading in the first place. With that being said, I'm not going to ask you to like the video, and I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I'm just going to ask you to do whatever the hell you want to do. And I'm going to encourage you to keep things simple and control risk. It is literally what has caused my trading to be really, really good over the past 5 years that I've been profitable. Past 7 years of my trading journey has been really rough. The first 2 years were insane. I sucked at life and everything. I felt like a complete failure, but it all worked itself out. After 2 years, I got profitable. In the past 5 years have been really smooth sailing. And it's been smooth sailing because I keep things simple and control risk. And I fully recognize that if I just wait for good trades, 80% of my profits come from 20% of my winners. That's all I got for you today. Hope you have a great rest of the day. See ya. Cheers.